Yo, what's up, FBA hustlers? All right, we're doing. So this is my boy David. If you guys haven't met him, he has a YouTube channel as well, which I will link down below. But he came from all the way from Chicago, and we're in Whistler, British Columbia at the moment, and it's a little snowboard town where they hosted the 2012 Winter Olympics, and we came out for one night. We went skiing today. You can see a little bit of my tan, maybe a goggle tan, but we're gonna be doing a live interview because I'm very interested in his story. He's very interested in mine, and yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and post this. So stay tuned, and it's gonna be a good one. What's going on, FBA hustlers? It's your boy Tom. We got a special guest today, live with David.
What's up, guys? How's everything going? Hold on, let's restart this. What are we doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tom. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Tom.
And my name is David.
Today, in this video, we want to go over some top hacks and top secrets. Why should you guys watch this video? And why should you dedicate the next 15-20 minutes of your time to watch this video? Essentially, him and I, we are Amazon sellers, and we started everything from scratch. And I've gotten my business to the point where I'm almost very close to $100,000 per month mark. And David is only 20 years old, and he's profited over 6 figures as well through Amazon FBA. So all we want to do in this video today is to share some of the tactics, some of the hacks, secrets, whatever you want to fucking call them, and really at the end of the day to provide value to you who's watching this. So no bullshit, without further ado, we'll just jump right into this. And the topic that we decided to talk about today are 2 things. Number 1, product research, and number 2, how do you launch a product? Because both him and I, we own Facebook groups, and I would say by far, those are the 2 most common questions that's being asked.
Yeah, no, Tom really brings up a good point, because the thing about like starting an Amazon business, right? Like if you think about it and you break it down, for those of you that are watching and are brand new, like honestly, the first step in starting like an Amazon private label business is picking a product. Like most people actually like go ahead and pick their product first before they like set up the LLC. So I mean, like if you're watching right now, like my advice to you is right now, find a product, get samples, and then go out of your way and form an LLC and form an Amazon account and all of that. So we really want to focus down on like the 2 first steps, which are essentially the 2 first, important steps, like most important steps that a lot of people get wrong and don't know how to do properly. So honestly, like the next like 20-30 minutes is going to be pure value, and we're literally just going to be focusing on product research and launching your product on Amazon and ranking it and all that good stuff. So let's just really jump in and start talking about product research, right?
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question about product research. Have you ever had a product that failed?
Yeah, plenty of them. So
let's talk about one of them.
I'm totally open about it. So
what was it?
The first product, like when I got started back in 2015, I got started back in it was April and May when I started doing Amazon product research, and I really got into the product gun magnets. So for those of you that don't know, right? So it's
like under a car?
No, yeah,
on a car.
Not in the car, like you can mount it on anything, right? Okay. So like this, there's a table right here, and all you do is like screw in the magnet, and it's a small magnet that's like
slap the gun on.
2 inches, and it's like it's a really strong magnetic magnet that could hold up to like 25 pounds. So you just like put your handgun or whatever to it.
Why did it fail?
And that was the first product like I wanted to private label, and I went all the way from ordering samples to getting a shipment of about 300 units at the time. And the reason it failed was simply because the manufacturer that I was working with, they weren't like equipped to properly make it, but they gave me really good pricing. So when they sent me the sample was really different compared to the actual like finished product they shipped to my house. So I went after the whole like shoebox, make sure it fits in a shoebox, make sure it's around $20. So if you go to Amazon right now and write in gun magnet, like you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like this small little black magnet.
Yeah.
And it holds guns. Yeah. And that's essentially what I got into. And because I use like the whole method of whatever everybody else was teaching at the time, which is like shoebox method, under a pound or whatever, under a few pounds. And the main reason it failed was because the manufacturer I was working with, they sent me something completely different. And I was like, I cannot send this into Amazon's warehouse and be like, okay, and generating like 5-star reviews. Like, it was just not feasible to do so because of the product and the way it was set up, because the manufacturer kind of, they really messed it up. So I ended up liquidating it on eBay for very cheap. So it pretty much failed. Like, I'm literally telling you, like, I ordered 300 units. They came, and I'm like, I cannot sell this.
So it was a supplier issue.
It was a supplier issue.
So if you guys, I would recommend to have an inspection done on your shipment. And if you guys are looking for an inspection agency, I use one called ChinaInspectionServices.com or something like that. I'll link I have to look it up.
That's a really good one. They're actually pretty expensive, but they're the best ones.
No, they're which one are you talking about?
I think like Asia inspections. They're like $200-300.
No, mine was only $100.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And then what they do is they would essentially go to the factory, right? They physically go to the factory in China, and you tell them some of the stuff that you're looking for, and then they would actually write you a report, and it's a very detailed report. And they'll take photos of the product, they'll take photos of the factory, they'll take photos of everything for you. So it's like you almost being at the factory.
Yeah, and then just like a little pro tip for you guys that are starting out: be very careful when working with the inspection companies off Alibaba, or the companies that someone might recommend to you, or like a inspection company that literally the factory themselves, right? So the person you're talking to on Skype off Alibaba, they're just like, oh yeah, we have an inspection company that comes around all the time. Yeah. Like, be very hesitant to work with those people, just because they're probably on the payroll.
They're like friends or something.
They're literally friends. It's like me and Tom or whatever. Like, I own the factory, he's the inspector, and then I'm the factory, I create a bad product, and then he comes in and he's like, oh yeah, it's a good product. Right.
Chinese people are very shady. Oh shit, I'm Chinese.
This guy's Chinese.
I'm Chinese. No, they're nice people. They're very smart
Tom
people.
isn't shady though.
No, I'm not shady. But what I'm trying to say is don't be naive when it comes to dealing with Chinese suppliers. Because one thing I found with Chinese suppliers is they will say yes to everything. They will say yes to everything. Hey, can you make this in this color? Oh yeah, yes sir, absolutely. Hey, can you make it in this size? Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll never tell you no. But when you get the product, it's the complete opposite of what you asked. So make sure that before you ship your first product, make sure you use inspection. Well, before you ship, get a Chinese inspection agency to go to the.
Not even that. Like, there's I would recommend doing like a before. So like not necessarily before, but during. So during production, right? So when you send the 30% down payment, and then let's just say halfway through production, so maybe 3-4 weeks into production, you want to send a company out there, and just to make sure they look at the units that are already manufactured and inspect those, and go in there and just like analyze the whole operation, and then one before the actual container is loaded. So almost like 2 inspections. It's definitely going to pay its like dividends. I mean, in my case, when I was ordering the magnets, I mean, it wasn't a big order. I was paying like about $2-3 per magnet, and I had 300 of them, and I didn't get an inspection because it just didn't really make sense on something like that. But I honestly,
you probably didn't know either.
I didn't really know either. Like, nobody really talked about getting inspections back in like 20. Like, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, so David shared his product was a gun magnet.
Yeah.
And I am going to share my product that failed. The product that I failed is a silicone makeup sponge. What it is women like to use sponges to dip into makeup and then apply it to their face or something like that.
Like their mascara, so they like dip it into a brush. Apparently, my sister has one, and my mom. It's just like a really.
It's like a foam. It's like it's a foam. It's a foam. It's a
yeah.
foam. You dab it into your powder and then you put it on your face. So there's a new one that came out because the foam is a foam, but there's a new one that's like a silicone. Because foam, it can get dirty, it can soak up a lot of the makeup, blah blah blah. So these people, I don't know who the fuck came out with this terrible idea of this silicone makeup sponge, and now it's a silicone, so it's very clean. You can wash it off, and it doesn't soak up any makeup, excess makeup, so you save a lot of makeup. Anyway, so I saw this on Jungle Scout at the time, and I was like, holy shit, the numbers on this thing is fucking insane, right? It's got like, everybody on the first page has got like 10 to 30 reviews. Everybody on the first page is doing like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I was like, man, I gotta get in, all right? So where did I make the mistake? I actually made a few mistakes. It's not just the product selection, I made a few mistakes. Number one, go to market. I went to market very, very slowly because we were working with an amazing branding expert at the time, and we were going back and forth quite a bit to perfect this product. And by the time we went to market, it was going down. And what I mean by it was going down is that if you go on googletrends.com and you type in makeup silicone sponge, you will see exactly what I mean. The search volume went like this and it went like this. So we literally caught it right at the tail end. So obviously there's no more demand, there's no more searches for that particular product. Well, you have to ask yourself, why was there no demand for that particular product? So when I got the samples from the Chinese manufacturers, I actually took a bunch of different samples and I went to work with these samples. And there's a lot of girls in my work. And I give these samples to them.
Right.
And I said, hey, go home and try this and let me know if you actually like them or not. And they all hated it. They're like, dude, we do not like to use this product. But I was so emotionally attached
to the product,
to the
and
product.
the numbers on the Jungle Scout numbers. So
guys, you can't sell a shitty product.
Yeah.
You can't sell a shitty product.
It's not gonna work.
Like me and you are guys, right?
Right.
What if like we bought like this like really shitty like hair gel that we fucking hate and it doesn't work? Will we buy that product again?
No,
Absolutely
we'd
not.
return it, right? You probably got a lot
Like,
of returns. So let me ask you, Tom, because
yeah.
a lot of people probably want to know. So why did a product like the silicone, the little thing that you were using for the makeup, why did that even become a thing if it's a shitty product? Like, why'd you see that spike on Amazon and all those sellers making a ton of sales when it's a bad product? Like, did you look into the back end of the product itself and be like, oh, did an influencer like talk about the product?
Yeah, it was like a new it was a new thing. It was just like a new everybody on Facebook was doing advertising for it.
Yeah.
It was like a new thing, you know? That's
just like the fidget
like a trend.
spinners.
It was like a trend.
Like the fidget spinners, right?
It blew up. It blew up. But it was a shitty product.
It was like almost like a bubble.
Yeah, it was a bubble. So we still have like 600 units of that, and we've been selling that for like almost a year now. So that's the product that David failed and I failed. So the lesson you guys got to take away from this is always do your inspections, and the lesson you got to take away from mine is go to market fast and don't try to catch the next trend.
Yeah, like totally avoid trends. That's like number one. Make sure there's some like data backing those numbers up and just the sale velocity, but also make sure that when you're analyzing products and you want to pick a product, like avoid the product. Like how expensive is your product right now? How much are you selling it for?
Like $8.
$8. And I mean the magnets, the gun magnets that I actually had to liquidate on eBay, I sold them for like $12.99. So like, we totally understand a lot of people might be starting off on a budget right now, and you might have like $3,000-$4,000 saved up, and you want to get into private label, and you just you have to go after like a cheaper product that's probably gonna if it costs like $5 or whatever, the most you could sell is probably for like $19.99. But like just keep in mind that it's just gonna be very difficult. Like it's not going to be as easy as having 10, 15, 20 grand saved up and going after a product that's maybe like $39.99 or $49.99, just because there's a bigger barrier to entry when doing like the more expensive products. So not discouraging people that don't have a lot of money saved up, but just keep that in mind when doing product research, that if you're on a limited budget, you're going to have to purchase cheaper products, and it's possible to run issues like me and Tom did.
Okay.
Like just something to keep in mind. Like be very open-minded about that, because it could happen. So don't think that just having $2,000-$3,000 is enough to start private label.
Yeah, cool. So that's our I think that was good. Because I think there's a lot of people sharing their success stories, but I think you can learn more from a story of a failure.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from that failure. So I hope you guys can learn a few lessons from David and I by sharing that with you guys. Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about launching, because that's the number 2 most common question that's asked in our Facebook groups. Launching. So what should we talk about with launching?
Okay, launching's very interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is based off of the product you pick.
Actually, time out. Let's get a drink. Woo! All right, we're back. We got the drinks. Now we want to talk about some launch strategies.
Okay, yeah. So, and then like the second part of the video, we're going to be talking about launch strategies, because essentially that's like the second most important part when starting a successful Amazon business is launching, right? Product research is first, and then picking the right product and then launching it the right way. So, Tom, from you recently started selling on Amazon about a year ago, right? You launched about January 1st. What was your launch strategy like at the time when you were launching, and how is it different now when you're launching new products?
Okay, so we've had 3, we've had 3 different launch strategies. So if I were to break this down to you guys, before we even talk about the launch strategy, something very, very important for you to do with your launch, before you launch, is to make sure you have a well-optimized listing. So what I mean by that is you need to have at least 10 to 20 reviews. Get them from your family, friends, aliens, mom, dad, dogs, like whatever. Do whatever you gotta do, right?
Just make it happen.
Make it happen. Make it happen. And
Get creative.
Is it gonna be against TOS? Yes, it's going to be against TOS.
A lot of things are against TOS.
There's a lot of things against TOS. Yeah. Okay, so get some reviews. Get some fucking nice photos done, guys. Stop copy. I've seen, dude, you know what's fucked up? Dude, what? I've seen people on YouTube teaching other Amazon sellers
how to take their own photos.
To go on Alibaba and take their suppliers' photos. Like, save...
Palm face. Like, who's teaching you? Honestly, like don't do that, guys.
Get a nice render done for your photo. Get some nice photography done for your photo. Invest some money into your listing, guys. Right? Get that done. Get some nice ass graphic design done. Okay? All 9 of them.
Guys.
Infographics. We do them. I'll link the description below. We do them. We're sick at it. We're the best at it, and I can say that with 100% confidence.
You got some good shit.
And
I vouch for it.
And copywriting. Make sure you have some nice copy. Make sure it's not some like gibberish that people are reading. Okay.
Right.
So once you have those things done, then we can talk about the launch. So the 3 different launch strategies that we've used before was number 1, viral launch. Did we get on the first page? Fuck yes, we did. Did we see results? Fuck yes, we did. Was it expensive? Fuck yeah, it was. It was very expensive.
Very stressful too.
It was very expensive. But did it work? Yes, it did. So viral launch was the first way that we launched our product. Second way that we launched our product was through just lower pricing and heavy PPC. That's literally it. We lower our pricing to break even, and we dropped some heavy PPC, like $100 a day, $200 a day on an exact match campaign, and just like went balls to the walls with that. Did it work? Yes, it did. And that's actually a number 1 selling product right now, but it's also the least competitive product that we're selling. So if you're launching something that's very competitive, I don't think that's going to work for you. Number 3, used to be very effective, was using Facebook ads and driving them to a landing page and then sending them through a super URL. What I've been experiencing right now, and I don't care what anybody else says, is there's a lot of different URLs that people are using, but some of them are not working as good as before. Because we test a lot. And with our clients, a lot of them are not really getting the ranking that they're supposed to be getting, and we're not doing anything differently than all the other campaigns that were successful. So we just assumed, and as well as kind of listening to the community, the voice of the community is that some of the super URLs stopped working. So
yeah, like right now it's February 22nd when we're recording this, and there's been a lot of Amazon updates recently when it comes to reviews, giveaways, and the percentage you're giving off for a product to give away in a launch, or whether you're just giving away. And I think, Tom, you said this morning when we were talking, when we were driving up to Whistler, I think it's anything over 30%. So if you're giving away your product for about 31% or 30%, right?
I have no idea.
It's like right around the 30%
at this point
mark.
Well, that's for verified reviews.
For a verified review.
So that's what we tested so far. We got to test more, but I know with 30% we're safe. You can still get a verified review. With 75%, 99% off, you can't get verified reviews anymore, apparently. So
just something to keep in mind when you are launching through a super URL, or if you do plan on going down, Facebook ads or something, and you plan on discounting your product at a super low rate, thinking you could rack in like verified reviews. It's just really not the case, because I don't think like unverified ones even stick anymore.
Yeah.
Like in order to like leave a review, you have to buy it for the full price, or at least between 70% to 100% of the actual price that it's listed.
Yeah, that's true. So so that's. So I'll tell you guys something that we're doing right now about launch strategy. So this is, I guess, strategy number 4 is we are getting a list of people to buy our products at full price, and we incentivize them and, reimburse them, whatever. We're not asking for any reviews. We're literally trying to get them to just
try it.
Just getting them to buy it at full price.
Yeah.
Find our product, because that tactic is never going to go away. But it's also the hardest tactic. because the conversion rate is going to be very low on that. So yeah, so I think that's it pretty much
for launching. Launching is literally to summarize it. You get your product, it's in Amazon, it's time to rack in reviews. Like get 20 to 30 reviews before you like really double down and get serious with PPC and start throwing, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 of, $200-$300 a day into PPC when you don't have reviews. And like we kind of mentioned, the first, step in getting those reviews is you pretty much have to get friends and family to purchase your product at full price, and then whether they refund you or you refund them or they keep it for the full price, that's really up to you guys. But rack in the review first when it comes to launching, and then there's also the other options that Tom talked about when it comes to the super URL or viral launch. But do a lot more research when it comes to doing a viral launch. Consult with the people at Viral Launch, let them recommend a keyword, let them look at your listing, and just make sure your listing is optimized. And when you do launch, make sure you're launching to stick, because a lot of people will launch but they're not optimized to stick.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you do that through what Tom talked about is photos, sales copy, and just making sure the reviews are there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the end of this video. I don't want to carry this too long for you guys. And if you guys want more information, where can they find you, David?
Just literally look for my YouTube. It's in the description down below. Sellerology, that's where we talk about the art and the science of selling online. Or just look me up on Facebook, David Sdara.
Yeah, and for me, FBA Hustlers, because every day we're hustling.
Hustling.
Yo, David, what did we just do?
Yeah, we just went snowmobiling. We got our own private tour because there was nobody there, so it was just me and Tom and the decor guide.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
That was sick. Look how far. I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not, but the snow is falling really, really fast. So much snow. I'm really considering doing some sort of a FBA Hustlers mastermind in Whistler next year / Vancouver. I think that would be sick. We get people all around the world come to Vancouver. We'll do a mastermind and we will go to Whistler, snowboarding, snowmobiling, all that stuff. So yeah, I think if you guys are interested, let me know and we can definitely arrange something. I think that'll be really, really cool.